Hola a todos. Estamos en directo. Here's a live Spanish lesson. So we're going to take a look at a couple phrases that you can use on Skype to contact with a language exchange partner. So I'm going to just read the English version here briefly, and then we'll get into the Spanish. So, hi, I see that you're from Spain. I'm learning Spanish. Could you help me? Yes, I'm available now for a few minutes. Would you like to talk on Skype? Sure, I will turn on Skype. What is your Skype ID? It's, can you send me a contact request message? What is yours? Mine is, and I'll send it to you now. Thank you. I just received it. I'll call you now. Okay, so I'll read this in Spanish then. Okay, here. Hola, veo que eres de España y estoy aprendiendo el español. ¿Podrías ayudarme? Sí, estoy disponible ahora por unos pocos minutos. ¿Te gustaría hablar en Skype? There's a formal as well. ¿Podría usted ayudarme? Or ¿le gustaría hablar en Skype? Por supuesto, me contactaré en Skype. O conectaré en Skype. ¿Cuál es tu usuario en Skype? Es, ¿me puedes o me puede enviar un mensaje de solicitud de contacto? ¿Cuál es el tuyo? El mío es, te lo enviaré ahora. Gracias, lo acabo de recibir. Te llamaré ahora. So you could switch between a little bit between the formal, the usted form, or you could be using the to form. If you add a letter S here, this would be podrías. If you add an S here, te gustaría, but it would be using te, like here of te. Okay. Would you like to try reading this?
Yes.
Okay, cool.
I will. Hola, veo que eres de España y estoy aprendiendo español. ¿Podría usted ayudarme? Sí, estoy disponible ahora por unos pocos minutos. ¿Le gustaría hablar en Skype? Por supuesto, me conectaré en Skype.
¿Cuál?
¿Cuál es tu usuario en Skype? ¿Me puede enviar un mensaje de solicitud de contacto? ¿Cuál es el tuyo? El mío es, te lo enviaré ahora. Gracias. Lo acabo de recibir. Te llamaré ahora.
Cool. Okay. And you notice if you take an infinitive, enviar or llamar, and you add this E with an accent at the end of it, this converts this into the future simple. So you can have a verb enviar, and then enviaré is I will send. Llamar, llamaré, I will call. Hablar, hablaré, that's this future simple. If you add this I with an accent A to the end of the infinitive, this is the conditional form. So this is like a polite way of asking, let's say like would you send, you could put enviaría, like I would send, or I would call you, llamaría, so that you can use the future simple and the conditional form just by adding those two suffixes to the infinitive. There are some changes. For example, you can see the verb poder changes to this, the E drops out, so this becomes DR instead of DER. So podría. And you could also use podré, like I will be able to do something. And you can also see conectar, conectaré. So those are a few changes you can make to the verbs. There's
Mhm.
also, similar to English, you have like an I am doing something form, like
Mhm.
estoy. So you use the verb estar, and you conjugate estar, and then you take, depending on if it's a type 1 or type 2 verb, here aprender, you add this iendo suffix to the root here, aprender, and you can get this like ing form, like in English, of I'm learning Spanish, estoy aprendiendo español.
Mhm.
So you could use like I'm sending it to you now. You could also say te lo estoy enviando. So you wouldn't use IE, but you would just use the A, enviando, and you'd still have the endio. So like I'm sending it to you now, or I'm calling you, te estoy llamando, te estoy llamando. So that's like I'm in the process of doing something right now. Mhm. Any questions you have on the vocabulary?
No, everything is clear.
Okay, cool. Okay, let's look at the next sentence here, or the next conversation here. So this is saying, for example, hi, nice to meet you. So once the conversation starts, nice to meet you too. Where are you from? I'm from Madrid, but now I live in Barcelona. And you? I live in New York. Are you originally from New York? No, actually, I'm from Chicago. Interesting. How long have you been learning Spanish? Just a few weeks. Oh, your pronunciation is very good for a short period. Thanks, I appreciate that. So let's look at the Spanish version here. Okay, so hola, es un placer conocerte. Un placer conocerte también. ¿De dónde eres? Soy de Madrid, pero ahora vivo en Barcelona. ¿Y tú? Vivo en Nueva York. ¿Eres originario de Nueva York? No, en realidad soy de Chicago. Interesante. ¿Por cuánto tiempo has estado aprendiendo español? Solo unas pocas semanas. Tu pronunciación es muy buena para tal corto periodo. Gracias, lo aprecio mucho. So, okay. Do you want to try reading this?
Yes.
Let me just move this. Okay.
Hola, es un placer conocerte. Un placer conocerte también. ¿De dónde eres? Soy de Madrid, pero ahora vivo en Barcelona. ¿Y tú? Vivo en Nueva York. ¿Eres originario de Nueva York? Um, mm, no, en realidad soy de Chicago. Interesante. ¿Por cuánto tiempo has estado aprendiendo español? Solo unas pocas semanas. Tu pronunciación es muy buena para tal corto periodo. Aprecio mucho.
Cool. Okay, just one little comment here that the H in general in Spanish is silent. So here, has estado aprendiendo. And this is very similar to like a English, like a present perfect progressive, like I have, like how long have you been studying or learning? Like how long have you been studying? How long have you been learning Spanish? Okay. Also, with the accent on the I, this is more like periodo. Although in the dictionary, I think I have seen two versions of the pronunciation. Like, I think I have seen a variation there. So that, okay. But okay, can you tell me a little bit about yourself? ¿De dónde eres?
Mm, mm, do you ask me
Yes,
right
yeah,
now?
first. Mm-hmm.
Soy de Rusia, ah, mm, pero ahora vivo en Penza, de Rusia. Ujú.
Okay, so eres
¿Y
de
tú?
Rusia. Okay.
Ujú,
Soy de los Estados Unidos, pero vivo en la Ciudad de México.
ujú.
¿Eres originaria de Rusia?
Mm, no, ah, en realidad ah, soy de Central Asia.
Okay. Asia,
Pues,
Asia Central. Ujú.
ujú. Asia, Central Asia.
Okay. ¿Y cuánto tiempo has estado aprendiendo español?
Ah, mm, ah, solo unas, solo 2 weeks,
2 semanas. Yeah.
2 semanas. Ujú,
Yeah. Okay.
ujú.
Okay. Yeah. So then this conversation can actually apply to you. So solo unas pocas, very, very few, a small handful of weeks or a couple of weeks. So you could say, yeah, 2 weeks, solo 2 semanas. Okay. Wow. And do you understand a lot of this material, the vocabulary here?
Um, uh, yes, I understand, but I have a question.
Of course. Mm-hmm.
Can I ask? So the question was, where do you from New York eres originario? And the question, and in the answer, there was a word, another word, realidad.
Mm-hmm.
Why not the same word as originario, but realidad?
Okay. So this is asking if that person is from New York, and in this kind of like, is that true? And this kind of en realidad is a way of kind of correcting that information, thinking like, are you actually from New York? And if you use a false cognate, the word actually and actualmente, they're false cognates, and actualmente means like now, currently. It doesn't mean like I'm correcting some information. So this one in realidad is like, to be honest, or like like what is the real truth is that I'm not from New York. I'm actually from Chicago. Kind of correct that information. So this, yeah, en realidad soy de Chicago. Mhm. Just 1 second here. Okay. So sorry, this is a live lesson, and my son is not feeling well, so he's here at home today. So the TV turned off. Okay, so let's look at the next conversation here. Any other vocabulary from this short one? Any other vocabulary questions here?
No, everything's
Okay.
clear.
Okay, let's look at the last one, number 3 here. Okay, so this is if there's some audio problems in the conversation. Can you still hear me? I'm afraid I can't hear you very well. Unfortunately, the connection isn't good. I think we'll have to end the conversation. Okay, are you available at the same time tomorrow? Yes, I am. I'll send you a text message later today. Okay, bye. Thanks again. Have a good day. Bye. Okay. And down here. So, ¿todavía puedes oírme? Me temo que no puedo oírte bien. Desafortunadamente, la conexión no es buena. Creo que tendremos que terminar la conversación. De acuerdo. ¿Estás disponible mañana a la misma hora? Sí, lo estoy. Te enviaré un mensaje de texto más tarde. De acuerdo. Hasta luego. Gracias nuevamente. Que tengas un buen día. Adiós. You can also use hasta luego instead of adiós. Okay. So would you like to practice reading this?
¿Todavía puedes oírme? Me temo que no puedo oírte bien. Desafortunadamente, la conexión no es buena. Creo que tendremos que terminar la conversación. De acuerdo, ¿estás disponible mañana a la misma hora? Si lo esto, te enviaré un mensaje de texto más tarde. De acuerdo, hasta luego. Gracias nuevamente. Que tengas un buen día. Adiós.
Cool. Okay. Yeah, just estoy, just like hoy for that. Because if you have esto, that would be like this or that for a thing. Okay. So once again, we have some of these future forms of like tendremos. This is the verb tener. So when you have tener que, this means like have to, like an obligation, have to do something. And here we're using the we form. So we will have to terminate or finish the conversation. So this is if you have tendré, e with an accent, this is like I will have to do something. And when you add the mos, this is the we form, like you and I, nosotros, like we will have to do something. So tendremos que, and then you just add an infinitive. So tendremos que ir, like well, we will have to go. Tendremos que comer, we will have to eat. And once again, we have the I will send you. So I will send you a message later, más tarde. And then these are some polite phrases like okay, goodbye, thanks again. Nuevamente is a way to use again, like newly again. And a polite way to say like have a great day, have a nice day, is this subjunctive form is que tengas. So this is the verb tener again, tener, but this is using a subjunctive form. So I won't get into the details about how to construct the subjunctive right now. That takes a lot more explanations. But just recognize that this form is subjunctive, and that's one way that we would like wish somebody a nice day. Also, for this is a long word to mean unfortunately. So desafortunadamente. If you take off the des part and you just have afortunadamente, this would be fortunately. So if you want to unfortunately, you're adding the desafortunadamente. But if it's good news, you could use afortunadamente. So you could say afortunadamente la conexión es buena. But if it's desafortunadamente la conexión no es buena. So that, and when we're listening to people, we're using to hear, oír. That's like I hear a sound, and here you have can, puedes, and puedo. So you can and I can, and we would switch these forms for the second person or the first person. So, puedes oírme? Can you hear me? And I can't hear you, so no puedo oírte. And bien and buena. Bien is an adverb, so this goes with verbs, like puedo oírte bien. And buena is an adjective, and adjectives describe nouns. So with this a ending, this is a feminine adjective that's being used to describe conexión, which is a feminine word. You can see the la here. So la conexión es buena. So I do hear some students confuse like well and good, but this is so well goes as an adverb that goes with verbs, and good is an adjective that goes with nouns. So that's true in several languages that have that similar construction. Any questions you have on the vocabulary, the grammar?
Yes. Actually, the question about the word conexión, and before in previous dialogue we had conectar, that there was a verb. Conectar.
Yeah, that's related.
And this, but they are related, and okay.
Yeah, the ending, I think, for maybe writing, spelling reasons, or the pronunciation. If you have conectar, conexión, yeah, it switches to this x sound, conexión. For that, trying to think if there's other examples that might have that. Yeah, I can't think of too many endings that have X, but typically there's TION or SION. There might also be CION. So there's no TION, sorry. But it'd be like nación, información. TION would be in English. So a lot of those TION would be switched to CION in Spanish. Sometimes there's SION, like comprensión, that has an S. There's acción, so that'd be like a double C, acción. But usually it's CION or SION. And rarely this XION.
And just one more question. The ending adamente.
Yeah.
In this fundamental. So I can use this ending to create a lot of words.
Yeah, mente here, as long as you have the feminine form, the a, or this one a nueva, mente. If you have that feminine form of the adjective plus mente, this is a adverb suffix. So you can have like carefully, cuidadosamente. You can have I'm drawing a blank suddenly. Fácilmente. So there are adjectives that don't necessarily change between masculine and feminine. So fácil. So if you add fácilmente, it would be easily. And one teacher explained to me that this was actually coming from a construction to say like mente means mind. So it was saying like with a mind that is new. So that might have been the origin of why there's using this word mente, but it's now an adverb form, like an ly suffix in English. So this is mente, or like in Russian, you have like a letter O at the end of an adjective, and it becomes an adverb. So as long as you have the feminine form of that adjective, you can add mente. You may need, actually, I don't think you need a accent mark because the accent is on the E, nuevamente, for that. Okay. Any other questions on here?
No.
Okay, cool. Well, I hope you can use some of these phrases in your language exchanges with partners, and hopefully the connection will be good, so you don't exactly have to use these phrases about having to like finish the conversation before you have a few minutes to practice. But so yeah, you can use these to contact native speakers, start the conversation, and kind of finish the conversation with a couple of these phrases. Okay, so thank you very much for joining me. I hope you find this useful, and there'll be another lesson next week.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. Any other questions? Oh, okay. Bye.
She just left.
Okay. You have any questions, Alan?
No, I've just been taking notes. Honestly, I've understood everything. So it's just see the nuevamente. Is that feminine?
Yeah, the nueva part would be feminine. Mente would be an adverb. So this would be to say again. There's another expression you could use is de nuevo. De nuevo would be, that's another way to say new. But yeah, if you use nueva, like la conexión es nueva, like it's a new connection, I don't know, or if there's something other feminine, like the magazine is new, la revista es nueva, you could use nueva. But when you add this mente, it would be turning it into an adverb.
Yeah, is buena feminine as well?
Yeah, because of the letter A.
Yeah. Because I was like, it's usually bueno for me.
Yeah, you can use depending on like bueno is a way to start a conversation, because I think people used to have to check the connection on the phone before starting to speak. So they would say like kind of a test. Is the sound okay? And then people would start the conversation. But yeah, you have bueno for masculine singular, buena for feminine singular. So like buena comida, like good food. And then when you add the os, that's usually the masculine plural, and as is the feminine plural. So you see that in some expressions like between like buenos dias, like good morning, like good days, and buenas tardes, like good afternoon, but in the plural. So
yeah, understand that. Yeah. And last one, buen dia is feminine as well, isn't it?
Dia actually is masculine, because you have the which is the singular, the masculine, buen. And here, buen, the masculine actually drops the letter O before these nouns. So bueno is maybe like a word by itself, but if we precede it, like precede a noun, we'd say like un buen dia, un buen coche, like a good car, un buen amigo, a good friend. So dia itself ends with the letter A, but I think it's because it's evolved from like Latin, I guess, where it ends with an A, but it's actually a masculine noun. So not every time you see the letter A, it's an indication that it's feminine. There are some words that have evolved from Greek and Latin, and they may have an A ending, but they might be masculine.
Oh yeah, that's understandable. I'll have to go on them like right now, so I'll see you in the next one.
Sure, cool. So thanks for joining, and have a good day. Tengas un buen día.